Hello and welcome to Acoustic Review. I'm Ben and today we're looking at the Taylor K14ce Builder's Edition. Taylor caused quite a stir with the launch of this guitar at NAMM 2018 and it features many new innovations from master designer Andy Powers, most notably the new V-class bracing system. This new bracing pattern that Taylor suggests increases sustain, volume and also improves intonation does away with nearly 100 years of acoustic guitar tradition by replacing the X brace with a V-shaped brace, a feature not seen before in a production model guitar. The other specs on the guitar are in keeping with its place at the very top of Taylor's range and include a solid torrefied Sitka spruce top, Hawaiian koa back and sides, ebony binding with an arm bevel on the lower bout and a contoured cutaway, mahogany neck with an ebony fingerboard and a bone nut with a 1 3/4 inch nut width, and a new, silent satin finish. Taylor's own ES2 expression system is included, and the guitar ships with a Taylor Deluxe hardshell case for an RRP of $5,759, although most retailers seem to be selling the guitar for just under £5,000. I've read a lot about this guitar online, and I'm really excited to sit down and play it for the first time. So let's have a listen, then we'll come back afterwards for my thoughts. When getting the guitar out of its case for the first time today, I'll be honest in that I was actually a little bit intimidated about playing it. I've read a lot online about the new features, particularly the V-class bracing, which has been controversial in some circles. Aesthetically, the guitar does differ a little bit from Taylor's other high-end offerings, with the satin finish, which doesn't really make the wood pop as much as their high gloss finish does, but once you get up close to the wood you can still see that it's the same high-grade material that you would expect on a guitar of this price. Something else that differs from the norm is the whole guitar has a beveled edge, so there's no sharp edges on the guitar at all. The arm bevel and contoured cutaway are very visually striking, as well as being ergonomic. The abalone binding gives the whole guitar a sense of class, and the arm bevel and the contoured cutaway are both visually striking. This guitar really struck me as sounding different to other guitars that I've played. The sustain was different in that there was perhaps less overtones as the guitar rang out. but that didn't mean that there was something lacking. The fundamental note is very strong throughout the entire length of the note. The guitar is very clear and precise sounding. In fact, in some ways, a little bit too precise sounding. I did find that it highlighted mistakes just as well as the notes that I meant to play, but I think that's something that perhaps every high-end guitar does when you play it for the first time. You have to get used to how a guitar sounds and feels and develop your playing technique in order to match it. The guitar is clearly very versatile. In fact, I think it's an exceptional fingerstyle guitar, although we did find that there was some upper frequencies which were maybe a little bit too prominent for hard strumming, and it did seem to bottom out a little bit when I had the guitar in drop tunings and was playing a little bit harder on the low strings. Whether it can be attributed to the new V-class bracing or not, there's definitely something different about this guitar from Taylor. The claims about sustain and volume are true. The guitar has excellent sustain and a very good volume, particularly for fingerstyle I thought. In fact, on the recordings, it almost sounds like there's a compressor on the track, but we haven't put any compression on the track at all. And the guitar definitely has a sense of in-tuneness, which I suppose does mean that the bracing has affected the intonation, which is something I'm just about getting my head around at the moment, but hopefully, we'll have Andy Powers on at some point and he'll be able to explain that to us a little bit better. I definitely felt that the guitar did sound more in tune as I played up and down the neck, so I suppose that might confirm some of the claims that Taylor are making about their new bracing system. Unfortunately, I think the plugged-in sound is not up there with the unplugged sound of the guitar. Now, no pickup's going to completely accurately represent the sound of a guitar unplugged, but I do feel that Taylor's ES2 pickup system would need quite a bit of EQ for it to be a pleasant sound live. So if you wanted to gig this guitar, I think you probably would have to invest in an external preamp to give you a bit more control over the sound. Taylor have built their name on the playability of their guitars, so as you would expect, the guitar is a breeze to play. You don't have to put any extra effort in at all. The neck is slim but not too slim. The nut width is perfect for fingerstyle and strumming, and the action from the factory was probably about as low as it could go without buzzing. I think the main limitation of this guitar is the price. At £6,000, it's obviously a very expensive instrument, and I can't imagine many people will be taking it to their pub gigs and things like that. But I have to say, I can't think of anything that this guitar couldn't do. Unless you're a really, really heavy strummer, I can't think of any situation which this guitar would not excel. But I think it's fair to say that you would expect that with a guitar of this price. The build quality, wood selection and hardware are all top notch. Beautiful top, beautiful back and sides. And the Goto 510 tuners are probably my favourite tuners, to be honest. They're very smooth to use and they do hold tuning perfectly. A couple of things that really draw the eye on the guitar are the arm bevel and the contoured cutaway. Both of these look fantastic, but they also do add to the comfort of the guitar. The arm bevel in particular just means the top of the guitar is not digging in so much to your arm as it would be if the guitar didn't have the bevel. At £6,000, the guitar would represent a significant outlay for most of us, and you'd expect the guitar to be 100% perfect in build and sound at that price. I think it's fair to say the guitar is as close to perfect as it can be, but I think it's also fair to say there's lots of other manufacturers and builders, particularly hand builders of guitars out there available at that price point. So I think you'd have to consider if the Taylor name and the V-class bracing is worth the extra over some other manufacturers. The best thing about this guitar is the fact that I picked it up and it made me rethink how a guitar sounded. Was there something different about this guitar to other guitars? Is this guitar going to make me play differently? Is this guitar going to inspire me more? However, my least favourite thing about the guitar is the price. £6,000 is a lot of money for any acoustic guitar player, so I think you'll have to play one and make your own mind up for yourself. I hope you've enjoyed this video from Acoustic Review. Please remember to subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you next time.